I just want you guys quickly to see that I have an Apple Watch here, and since I have an Apple Watch, I buzz myself every single 1 hour. I set up an alarm every single 1 hour. It starts ringing and it goes on vibration, so it just moves on my wrists. So there's no alarm really, there's no alarm that really rings, but there is a vibrational alarm, which is silent alarm that rings on my wrist while I'm sleeping. So let's say it's 6 o'clock, realize my Apple Watch is going to ring in a way that it's going to be vibrational. It's going to vibrate on my wrist. I wake up, I touch it, I switch it off. I woke up, but am I tired? I realize, do I have fatigue? Do I have fatigue to sleep, or do I have energy to wake up? I ask myself, and then guess what? I may fall asleep. I realize at 7 o'clock it rings again. At 8 o'clock it rings again, but then I get up at 8 o'clock. You understand? So it wakes me up every single hour. I realize it wakes me up every single 1 hour. So it's very important to have an Apple Watch because it has a vibrational wrist alarm that wakes you up every single 1 hour. So it's very, very, let's say, continuous. So be able to charge your technology every single day so that you can also have a nice and beautiful, you have a nice and beautiful sleep every single day for yourself, and then go and create more videos of yourself all day long so that you can go and do what you want to do daily. But be able to go and live by yourself, and be living alone with yourself as much as you can, so that you can also experience a better life for yourself. So just make sure that you go and borrow as much money as you can to the bank, in terms of with the bank, so that you can go and do something much more with that money, so that you can profit, and so you can understand how to be rich. Because if you borrow 50,000 from the bank in one deal, then you just made more than those people who have to work for $50,000. The easiest way to become a billionaire today is to borrow $1 billion from the bank. Do you guys understand? Never work for the money, but go work to get that money from the bank. Understand? And go find a profit deal or somewhere around the world where you can profit with the bank's money. So when you use the bank's money, you can profit on real estate and you can profit through events around the world. So go and find those events. And how can you make an event around town somewhere with the bank's money to make more money with the bank's money? I see these people around me today, they're going to a 9-to-5 job today because they're selling themselves for money today. They want to make $200 today. You understand? But I want to make 8 hours of videos. There's a big difference. Now, why is there a big difference? I understand, and what kind of big difference is there in life in terms of that? What the difference is between them and I, in terms of I and them, because it's I over them. I understand the difference is that I get to boost my legacy today. I get to make something for generations to come, where I can go and be great. Understand? I get a video, and I do 12 hours of video today, but they're going to make $200. Who is going to be greater? Of course, I am going to be greater because I'm greater because I do so much content online, and then people remember Danny Milivojevic. But those people who are making $200 today, they're never creating these videos, man. They love $200. I love $200 too. Although guess what? I do much more than them in terms of work. I'm doing much more content, I'm doing much more videos, I'm doing much more of everything online. And that's why I am the one that's at the top online. They sold themselves for $200. I see, guys, the new way of making comedy videos and acting videos and singing videos is to do 1-minute clips. Do 1-minute video clips and then practice and practice and practice that. In a sense, so TikTok is a great way to understand that. TikTok is 1-minute videos and show your talent. Show your talents in 1 minute. But what I do is I never use TikTok because TikTok takes time to upload everything. I realized what I do is I make 1 minute clips and I just keep going and going and going. And then I connect it all into 1 hour video and then I go and post it up on YouTube. And that's it. I just practice everything in 1 minute. I do it in 1 minute videos. And then you have to understand that's the newest way to practice comedy. But what else you can do to practice everything you ever want to do is around words. I mean, you have to physically write and you have to talk it out into a video and you have to talk it out into an audio. And that's the best way to practice any kind of talent you want, by making sure you're expanding your mindset along the way with the communicational vibe of the words you say, because that's the only way. I see, guys, in daily life, you may see that people are nice around you in terms of they never ever will bother you, but they're going their own way and they're just walking away from you. But when you're in the spotlight and you're giving away your business cards and you're famous and you're on a public speaking microphone and everybody can hear you and they're walking away from you without getting a business card and without approaching you to be inspirational about you and to motivate you about what you're doing, and they're never curious about you either, because you're on a public speaking microphone and you're busking and you have you have business cards on the floor just ready to give these people, but they never care about you. I mean, they never care about your actual, in terms of what you're doing in life. I mean, they never want to get your business card. I mean, they never want to speak to you because you're on the microphone and you're famous. I mean, they never want to speak to you and they never want to see you on YouTube, and they never ever want to be with you in life, and they never want to speak to you, or else they never want to be around you. I mean, they'll look at you from 20 meters over there, and you say, "Hey, guys, I have a business card over here," but they're just going to walk away from you. I mean, but then you realize quickly that there are so many haters around town. I mean, there's so many people that hate you because you're famous, and they are never famous. I promise you, when you're famous and more famous in life, I promise you, more people hate you. I promise you, they hate you. But when you're just a little stupid idiot who just walks around with people who's never famous, I mean, when you're never famous, I mean, go and get much more famous, and then you're never going to be a stupid idiot. I mean, stupid idiots are never famous. But when you're just walking around town and you're never famous, I promise you, everybody looks like they love you, man. I promise you, everybody looks like they love you. But as soon as you're in the spotlight and you're the loudest one, I promise you, they walk away from your whole life. I promise you, they walk away from your business card. I promise you, they walk away from your words of encouragement. I promise you, they walk away from you who is preaching Jesus Christ to them. I promise you, they walk away from you. And they never care about you and Jesus Christ. Understand? I mean, they care about Jesus Christ to some extent, but they never care to learn about Jesus Christ like you can say it to them. I mean, in a sense, so the key about life, in terms of understanding life itself, is becoming famous so that you can really see the world from that point of view. Because if you're never famous, then you're never ever really going to see exactly what famous people can see. Because as soon as you're more successful, of course, your haters all around. When they'll look at you and they'll hate you, man. I mean, they'll hate you. I mean, they're unaware of it. I mean, they're unaware that they hate you. Of course, they're unaware of it. I mean, they never want your business card, or else they never want to do business with you because you're so successful. I mean, you're so successful and they never want to do business with you. I mean, isn't that hatred? I mean, of course. I mean, that's hating you. I'm never hating you. I mean, if you're so famous and you're on the street busking somewhere and you're famous, I want to get your business card, man. I want to see at least what you're doing. I want to see the courage, because it's courageous to stand. I mean, it's courageous to stand up in front of people and public speak. I mean, in a sense, so realize that Brisbane is like that, and everywhere. I mean, you're on the stage, and they're giving you money for it. But guess what? I mean, eventually, that's the best place to be. They're giving you money. These people are giving you money to see you. And guess what? I mean, you leave the stage. I mean, you go, and guess what? I mean, it's still the same thing. I mean, they never want to message you. And guess what? I promise you they message you. I promise you they message you at this point. But guess what? I mean, there's so many people messaging you that you just eventually never ever reply to them at all. I mean, just reply to nobody. I mean, never even reply to people who are messaging you online. I mean, never even reply to people who are messaging you online. Because why? Because there's so many people messaging you. I mean, have more time for yourself then. I mean, have so much more time for yourself. So every single day we're focusing on understanding that eventually you're going to get that point. I mean, you're going to get to the point of being so famous that people want you everywhere and they're going to message you because you're famous. But if you're never famous, I promise you they'll never ever message you. I mean, understand? So what you need to do every single day is try to grab the spotlight as much as you can. I mean, try to be in the spotlight. I mean, try to give live events around town. I mean, try to really make money with the bank's money as quickly as possible, and try to go around the world as quickly as possible on your own and with whatever you have. I promise you, all you really have today is your communicational skills. So if you can go and really boost your communicational skills daily, and you can delay gratification as much as possible, and then you can also make a profit with everything you're doing, I promise you, that's the best way. I promise you, although, get to the stage of high vibe and high famous individuality, where you're famous and everybody else is average. I promise you, they hate you. I promise you, they hate you right away. I mean, they hate you so much that they never even realize that they hate you. I mean, they're very stupid people because they're unaware of how to get your business card. I mean, they're unaware of how to help you. I mean, you understand? So realize now that what's important is understanding that you must be very quiet around these people as well. So be quiet in a way that you're so loud in front of them, but be quiet so still in a way that you're growing. I mean, just be away from people as much as you can and go to people to get their money and just go away. I promise you, if you do free performances on the street, it's because you're boosting your legacy. I promise you, I'm doing busking performances on the street. Never for them. I'm never doing it for them. I'm doing it for I. I'm doing it so I can increase my legacy, so I can teach you something. I mean, that's it. I never do it for them because they are just going to watch me for 3-4 seconds and they're going to run away and never ever see me again because they're going to die very soon. I mean, they're dying very soon. I mean, that individual is going into a car accident. I mean, that one there is dying off the cliff somewhere. I mean, you understand? Because guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, you understand? Because that's how it is. I never die. I never die anything. I mean, they are going. I mean, that individual there is going to stab himself very soon. I mean, you understand? Because that's the way it is. I mean, what you need to realize every single day is go and grow yourself in a way that you're going to be in front of people and you're going to go and elaborate everything and put it into details, because that's how you become famous. I want you guys and ladies out there to understand that anybody who's your age right now, there's 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the 1% of people who actually go for you and actually love you. And now, if you look at the older generations, I mean, what is your age? And look at the older generations. There's 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the 1% that actually go for you. Now, if you look at people who are under your age, so whatever your age is, and then look at people under your age. So I'm 28, so if I see a 27-year young woman, or let's say 16 to 27, in terms of that range, should they go for me? Or should they go for me? Or should anybody who's 16 to 27 right now, in terms of woman, go for me? Now, because I'm much more status now, I have much more money, I have much more fame, now, I have so much more women, in terms of all of them, in terms of who are single, even in the older generation, and even in my generation, that actually go for me now. I mean, but if you're never famous, then what happens is the older generation and your generation, in terms of the age of your generation and the older generation, only 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the 1% actually do go for you. I mean, so what you do is realize that anything that's under your age goes for you, 100%, if they're single. I mean, if they're younger than you, they go for you 100%. I mean, so realize this. I mean, what you need to do daily is realize that we have to go and do something more. So what we're doing is getting more popular and getting more famous every single day. And once we get more famous and more money with us, now all the men and all the women of the world, in terms of, I'm just talking with both sides over here, they all go for you because you have all the money. I mean, you have all the popularity. So of course, even the older woman and the older man, or your generation or the younger generation, go 100% for you because you're single and they are single. But the people who have a relationship with somebody else, they hate you. But you never ever even speak to them because they hate you already. I mean, they have no equal love for you. Understand? So what you do is realize this, that you're much better off now just become more famous and become more famous, and then realize that either way, you get what you want. I mean, you get what you want regardless. But if you understand to have more money and more communicational skills daily, to just go and really pronounce your name out there and much more, then you achieve much more. Then you have everything you ever want. So go and just speak those words more, and then you're going to achieve what I can. I want you guys to understand that if I went chasing women today, and if I was around the crowd today, and I was around them all the time, and I was calling them, and I want to be on their table, and I want to go where they're going, and I want to hold their hands, I mean, guess what then? I mean, how about these videos? I mean, how about everything I've done on YouTube? I mean, how about my Mega Drive and my Instagram? Gosh, that never ever would have existed in terms of that. Never, I realize that in terms of wood, I'm better than wood. But what's important right here is understand then that never exists in terms of what I've done, in terms of what you've seen from me online. Gosh, if I went running for women and for the crowd out there, gosh, then everything you've seen about me online, gosh, that never exists at all then. I mean, what do you think I have to do? I had to get away from the crowd. I had to get away from the woman. I had to get away from all the people I grew up with. I have to get away from them. I have to get away from everybody to do my life in terms of what you've seen online. I mean, in a sense, so if you realize that if you want a great legacy, then you have to do what I'm doing. I mean, you have to do exactly as I've done right here. I have to get away from the crowd. I mean, you have to get away from the crowd to boost your legacy so I can boost my legacy. I'm boosting my legacy without you. But what's important is understanding that if you go chasing men and women in the crowd, then you never ever get to embrace yourself and to have a great legacy, because the crowd is always chasing the crowd. And they're never chasing their legacy, are they? I mean, they're chasing the woman instead. I mean, they're chasing the men instead. I mean, they're chasing the nightclub music instead. I mean, they value nightclub music and festival music over their careers and legacies. I mean, understand? I mean, they value other people more than their legacy. I mean, they value their mum and dad and to be around their mum and dad rather than boosting their own legacy. I mean, wake up, guys. I mean, wake up, because a great legacy is where you need to be. I mean, the only way to get to a great legacy is to be alone, without other people. I mean, do you understand that path? Approaching now, when you're traveling the world alone, approaching, then you understand great legacy. But if you travel alone with the crowd around the world, approaching, then thousands of people never ever call you a great name, because you're with the thousands of people all the time. I mean, when you're with a billion people, and you're always with them, and you're always around each other, then you have no time for even yourself. I mean, imagine 1 billion people always together and walking everywhere together, like sheep, man. I mean, always walking together. Bro, they never have a great legacy, do they? Bro, if one sheep turns into a wolf and goes into the fucking jungle without the fucking crew and without the people, bro, that individual becomes great. Because why? Because that fucking sheep did turn into a wolf to fucking go into the jungle alone. But now the crowd fucking recognizes that. I mean, the crowd fucking recognizes that the fucking individual that left the crowd is fucking famous right now, because they're not fucking in the crowd anymore. Bro, they're never in the fucking crowd anymore, are they? I mean, never fucking return once you go in that jungle. I mean, once you fucking go in the jungle alone, never fucking return to the people that grew up with you. I mean, never fucking return there. I mean, that's it. I mean, go fucking alone, totally. I mean, that's it. I mean, go fucking alone somewhere and build your legacy, guys. I understand how it is when you're doing a busking performance and down the corner, about 20 meters away, I mean, you see some guy saying, I mean, they're shaking your head. I mean, they're shaking their head at you in a way that you're totally disgraceful for doing a busking performance and for leading people and doing leadership. I can say, guys, just be mindful that you understand that every single day you get yourself in a video, you understand then that it's your photo as well. Actually, this is a photo as well of myself today. I mean, understand, because it's just a video, but this is a moving photo. I mean, understand, so if you understand video cameras, I mean, understand to do more videos and photos of yourself every single day, because we want to see that transition. We want to see how you transition as a kid. I just want to say, guys, quickly that if you never care about me, I mean, I never care about you then. I mean, understand, I mean, you have to care about me if I want to care about you. I mean, understand, I mean, if you want me to do anything for you, then you have to care about me. I mean, you have to follow me if you want me around, because if you never want me around, I never want you around. I want you guys to understand, when I look at you today, I want you to understand that I look at how much videos you've done on YouTube. I look at your Instagram to see how much fashion photos you have of yourself. And I look to see how much public speaking you've done around town and how much your status is around town. I want to see your status, I want to see your money pocket. Because I want to see how much money you have in your pocket and how much communication you've done around Jesus Christ. Because I also want to see how you dress up as. I want to give you ideas as well. I want to see what kind of ideas are you giving me, because that way I stay curious. And now, if you understand that, once I get that picture about you, I may choose to follow you for the rest of my life, or I may never choose to follow you, because guess what? I understand I follow the ones that are greater only. I want you guys to understand every single time that I'm just giving ideas over here, but you must understand that you never go chasing other people, man. I mean, just become richer in the process and get more money, and then you have everything. I promise you, that's how simple it is. I promise you, it's much better to have a greater legacy, such as Jesus Christ, than it is to chase people around. I mean, you're busy at 1 o'clock today? I mean, fuck off. I mean, if you guys want to be successful today, then you have to communicate more. I mean, you must understand that when I'm on video and I'm doing much more video work today, and doing much more audio work, and much more writing, and much more images of myself, I'm looking greater. I'm in front of people doing it. I'm doing fashion photos in front of people. I mean, they're just walking around, and I'm doing a background in front of people, and they're watching me. I mean, they're watching me, and they're laughing at me. I mean, who cares about them? I mean, who cares if they're laughing at me? I mean, guess what? I have a greater legacy than them. I mean, the same because I'm able to speak. I'm able to talk. I'm able to talk in front of a crowd. I mean, you have to electrify the crowd. You must understand that Dwayne The Rock Johnson says that you must electrify the crowd. I mean, you must do what he's doing. I mean, you must be able to speak and entertain people. I mean, that's how it is all about. Actually, it's all about that. I mean, make sure you understand. I know I only. I said I only in this video. I mean, you must understand every single day. Focus on the word I. And then you can talk, and then you can punch through people, and then you can actually inspire people every single day. So focus on doing that all the time for yourself, and then you have it all. I can say, guys, that you can always go and be around each other. I mean, you can always be around each other in your group, in your crowd, but you can never have I around. I am something better than you guys. I'm doing something better than you guys every single day. I have no time to be around you and your woman. I have no time for you guys. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand I'm a busy man in a way that I'm productive. I'm understanding I have a great legacy in all of you. I have no need to be around you and your Serbian clubs and Croatian clubs and wherever you guys are. I have no need to be around you. I understand? But I come to teach. And those who give me some money, I promise you, can always be around me. I understand? So make sure you understand, every single day I deserve more. I understand? So if I ask for money, I shall receive. I understand? Because you guys are going and giving your money to kill a cow today. I mean, you're going and giving your money to give somebody to kill a cow, and you're giving your money to eat cheese and pizza, and Coca-Cola, and cocoa powder, and caffeine, and drugs. I mean, do you understand? So when I have a heart that's beating right now to give you knowledge, and I'm giving you so much already. I've given you more money and time and life than a fucking pizza and then white sugar, and then anything in life. I understand, so make sure you understand that Jesus Christ is giving this world everything. I'm giving this world everything. I understand, so make sure you understand that when I go and do much more, I'm always focusing on understanding that if you value food and drink and drugs more than people, then you have no life. I understand, so focus on understanding that what you need to do daily is understand that you can be around your crowd. But guess what? I'm more successful. I'm going my own way. I have no need to be around you guys.